My name is Andy Kutosh. I'm here with Cobb Cycling, and we are going to show you how to install your new Cobb saddle. So the first step in installing your saddle is to remove your existing saddle. To do so, you'll need an Allen wrench, and you'll need to loosen the collar beneath the seat. So we'll do this and loosen it up. And as we're doing this, I'll let you know that when we install your new Cobb saddle, we want to tighten it about finger tight so that we can make the necessary adjustments for the saddle. Okay, so the next step, once you've removed your saddle, is to install your new Cobb saddle. And then to do so, you're going to reverse the steps you just did of taking your saddle off. So once you get it into the clamp, you just want to finger tighten these bolts so that we can make our adjustments to properly position the saddle. So when you're done with it, it should be firm enough, but enough that you can still move the saddle around. Okay? So our first adjustment once your saddle is in place is going to be for saddle height. And we have a formula on the back of our tape measure that says your inseam length times 0.889 is going to be your saddle height. So your inseam length, to determine your inseam length, you want to take your tape measure. You want to go high, firmly on the inside of your thigh. You want to extend it down to your knee and then all the way to the floor. For me, my inseam is 85 centimeters. So if we take that and we multiply it by 0.889, I get 75.5 centimeters. So that is the height of your saddle to the center of the bottom bracket. So what that means is you'll take your tape measure and you'll start at the top of the saddle and you'll take your tape measure all the way down to the center of the crank or the center of the bottom bracket. This one is actually 74.5. So I will make a slight adjustment for this saddle. And then to do so, you'll want to loosen the seat collar that holds the post in. Take one more measurement. Our next step is to determine the fore and aft of the saddle, or the forward and rear of this. And in order to determine this, we've provided this chart for you to help show you where the saddle should be. And if you look at this chart, this is a road bike, and I'm 5'11", so it should be between 5 and 6 centimeters behind the center of the crank. So what that means is the nose of this saddle needs to be behind the center of the crank 5 to 6 centimeters. And in order to determine this, you'll need a plumb bob. And if you don't have a plumb bob, then you can make a plumb bob by taking a piece of string and an open-faced wrench, and that'll make as your makeshift plumb bob. So you'll drop it off the nose of the saddle all the way to the ground, and you'll take your tape measure and you'll measure the plumb bob versus the center of the crank. Okay. This is actually 4 centimeters, so I'll need to move the saddle back another 2 centimeters. So we'll make our adjustment, and we'll double check to make sure that we are 5 to 6 centimeters behind the center of the crank. Okay, that's perfect. Our next step is to determine the saddle tilt. And what we want to determine what the angle of the saddle is by using a level. And we recommend on a road bike that you are 1 to 2 degrees nose up on the saddle. If you don't have a digital level, you could take a standard level, and you'll want to be 1/3 of a bubble outside of dead level. So this is what this is going to kind of look like for 1 degree. Okay. So now that we've got our saddle height, we've got our fore and aft, we have our saddle tilt, we are now ready to tighten up the saddle. You just want to tighten your bolts up. Okay, now your saddle is correctly placed. The last measurement that I want you to do is going to be from the nose to the bars. And first, you want to measure your forearm. And to do this, you want to put the tape measure between your fingers at the tip, stretch it all the way down to the elbow by making it 90 degrees. Mine is 48 centimeters. And this is the ideal length from the nose of the saddle to the center of the bars. Now, if you do have a discrepancy on yours that's over 2 centimeters, we recommend that you visit your local bike shop and purchase a different size stem. So stems come in all different sizes, short and long, and the stem is what attaches the handlebars to the steering tube right here. So you can make this a little bit longer, or you can make this a little bit shorter to accommodate your arms. So that's a little guideline for your handlebar length out here. Okay, so this gives you a great starting place for your saddle. Take this for a test ride. Pack a wrench with you, an Allen wrench, and what I want you to feel for is a couple of things. When you're riding, if you do feel that you have a lot of weight on your hands, then I recommend that you bring this nose up 1 degree at a time. If you find that you're having some pressure on your soft tissue, I recommend that you bring the saddle back down about 1 degree at a time. So this will dictate how much weight is on your hands as well as any soft tissue discomfort. So we hope that this video has been helpful to you, and enjoy the ride.